that, nah, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna talk about it. You know how they say don't meet your heroes? But I say maybe you should meet your heroes and realize don't be having heroes, you know? Because you'll almost always get disappointed because your idealized version of the person is not the real person, right? And I used to really look up to and I used to admire this man named Timothy. And he went to Lumber City Church of God. I had to think about the name of the city for a second. Got it. And I always looked up to him until one day he had a theory that I thought was like heresy. I thought it was like,
Good. I almost feel the dog tripped me. Get on to him. Get on him, baby. I don't care if you're live. Get
you
on
don't
him.
know what he's doing.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go here real quick.
All right, all right.
I love you.
I love you more than you love me. So, I had been taught by a TV preacher or something, I forget, that anybody who taught what that man taught was a heretic, that they were teaching a false doctrine, that it was something to do with the devil and all kind of stuff like that, right? And I didn't even really hear the man out. It just sort of shattered me. I was like, this guy was my hero and now he's a heretic, you know? At the time I was like, this guy, I thought he was good and he ain't no good. And it wasn't until I was like 38 years old that I realized he was right the entire time. His theology was backed by Galatians and Romans and Hebrews and all throughout the Bible. What he was teaching, he was just teaching what the Bible taught more accurately than the majority. And so it's kind of a, you know, they say don't meet your heroes. So it's like I meet the guy and then I'm disappointed. I'm like, he's not what I thought, you know. And then now that I've lost touch with him, haven't seen him, I can't go back and be like, he's probably dead now. He's probably old and dead now. Because I'm probably, you know, shit, I guess he'd be in his 80s now, which is kind of hard to imagine. But it's kind of weird because my opinion completely fell off about him because of a difference we had in politics. And then that issue started to not matter to me anymore. And so I didn't care about it. And I thought, hey, it's kind of silly that it all kind of ended over that. But then as time went on, I realized he was right all along. And it's kind of weird because nothing in the man was evil. Nothing in the way he treated people was evil. But his idea being different than mine, it made me kind of think, this man's got some secret bad evil about him. He's trying to spread this lie, but he was really telling the truth the whole time. And he was talking about who the Israel of God is, according to the Bible, according to the Bible's definitions. And he just rejected the interpretation of the Scofield Bible commentary, which the majority of people adhere to. And while it's the conservative position now, it wasn't when it come out. When it come out, no one held those views. And now almost everyone does. And I know there's certain things, I know I got certain people that follow me and listen to me, and they're not going to agree with everything I say. And some of the things I say and believe, they wish I didn't believe them or say them. And I may be wrong. I may change my mind. Or you may hate me now and then come back 10, 20 years and realize I was just telling the truth. Not that this is important, but since everyone else is already sharing and posting videos of anything and everything, I figure nothing's really off limits. If a man can live stream 14 hours a day begging people for money to sleep in a hotel every night, and that can be an insanely successful YouTube channel, then why can't I make content about anything too? So, anything goes. This is a sweet potato fry. And this is mustard mixed with hot sauce at about 50-50. For every pack of hot sauce, there's a pack of mustard. I think it's probably better to do maybe 3 packs of hot sauce for 2 packs of mustard is probably a better ratio, depending on how much mustard and hot sauce you got to play around with. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do this. I think everybody else either they dip their sweet potato fries in ketchup like regular French fries, or they will put like sugar on them or something.
I know somebody used to with Splenda.
But I think I've really figured out what it really pairs very well with mustard and hot sauce and sweet potato fries. Really over here making content about nothing, baby. These people getting on here, maybe they thought they was going to hear something about Rome.
Was somebody smart ass?
No, nobody said nothing smart ass. Maybe they thought I was going to say something about who knows what. And they get on here and I'm like, these are sweet potato fries. They'll probably see all the motor grease and stuff under my fingernails and be like, wash your hands. See how Brittany got off of work and she brought me a Philly cheese sandwich and sweet potato fries and mustard and hot sauce because she knows I like it. People was watching a while ago, but I done had my phone die 2 or 3 times and said some of the wrong things, and I done had my audience go away. Sometimes I do it on purpose. Like I have 20 people watching me, and I'll say something political, and like 5 of them will quit watching. And then from then on out, it's like downhill from there because I take it as a challenge. It's like, what can I say to make them all run away? And then sometimes there'll be like 1 or 2 that just stay no matter what. And those are my people.
What's wrong, baby?
She's talking to the dog. She ain't talking to me.
Oh, we're talking.
But yeah, she'll talk to me. It's got cheese, mushrooms, onions, bell peppers, Philly cheesesteak. Who made this one?
Spencer.
Spencer.
Is it good?
It's good. I can just tell Gary didn't make it though.
Why? Why? He better when Gary makes it?
Oh yeah. Gary's the best.
Yeah, he is. Spencer tries though.
He'll get there. Maybe.
You want a fried pickle?
Yeah.
Here.
Fried pickle.
I'm gonna change my clothes because I'm fine.
This used to be my least favorite food in the world. When I was a little child, that pickle on the McDonald's cheeseburger.
Well, I don't like regular pickles now. No, not at all.
To me, that was the worst thing ever. And I never would have thought I'd be eating pickles on purpose.
Now, fried pickles, I don't eat spear pickles. I don't eat regular pickles. I don't like none of that. Now, fried pickles is the only thing pickle related I like. I'll be right back.
All right. Where's the lid to the wrench?
Right there, baby.
Where is that? It's behind 2 cups.
It was.
All right. I'm gonna wrap my sandwich up because you wanna go for a walk? You tired? I'm tired too, and I'm sore, but I still want to go for a walk.
You don't care, but we put it here.
I don't care.
You sure?
I just want to see the scenery. And I wanted to go for a walk, and I was sore and hurting, and I went to turn around. I was like, never mind, I'm hurting. I ain't going for a walk. And Duke was so far up the road, and he turned around. I was like, man, Duke really wants to go for a walk. I'll go for a walk. And then so I decided I'd go for a walk, and then you pulled up, and I was like, no, I'll come back. And Duke was way up the road. He got excited
Do you
about
come out
it.
sit here?
I don't care.
Do you want me to make you some more tea tonight or no?
Yes, I do. And I'd appreciate it.
All right.
And if you don't, but
Cheese over here, baby.
what? Yeah, cheese dip. Yeah, give it to the dogs. I forgot.
Don't fight them though.
We'll give it a little bit then.
Okay, you get it.
But I'm gonna go for a walk up the dirt road and back.
Okay.
And
Love you.
I love you.
I'll see you in a minute.
All right,
Come back in there and see me when you get done.
I will. Love you.
Love you.
Okay, Duke, you can go for a walk now. Use me for all that. Man, look, the neighbors, every day they want to worry me. Every day. Every day Lee worries me. You know, one time he used to have a building right there beside the house. And I thought my friend, one of my best friends, I thought he burnt to death. There was fire up about that high. That whole building caught on fire. The tin at the top vaporized. But he was at work. And the wire in the wall caught on fire and his building burnt down. And I had been in a different fire before where I had run out barefoot to try to help somebody and stepped on melted plastic that burnt up into my foot. And I wasn't going to make that mistake twice, so I was like in such a hurry to get down there. But I put on my boots first, and I got down there. Everybody was crying and stuff. I thought Lee was dead. They was crying about the dogs burnt to a crisp inside the building, which was very sad, and I was sad about it later. But in the moment, I thought my best friend had burned up in the fire, so I had that to worry about. I wasn't worried about them dogs in that moment. But he's all right. But they make fires all the time over there. And I always have to look and make sure it's just a fire in the yard and not the house on fire again. Sorry about that. Sorry about being gross, but my body wants that out of me, not in me. I guess the flu or whatever, that first week of it was really bad. Now I've still got congestion, but I don't feel bad. I still got stuff to cough up and spit up, but I don't get no low-grade fevers. I don't have any muscle soreness that isn't just from work. And I feel better. I'm not better yet, but I just feel better. I think I'll be better soon. I might have waited too long to live stream this walk. It's going to be too dark to see. My eyes can see longer than the camera can in low light. It'll get all the way dark on this camera and I'll still be able to see, but y'all won't be able to see. So me and Brittany went for a walk, and I didn't go live or take my phone last time because I was just spending time with her. I didn't want to really have my phone distracting me from, and a walk is different with Brittany than without Brittany. Like, she noticed something, I don't know if it's a butterfly or what, I forget, but she would notice certain things along the walk and point them out. And it's a different experience to walk with her than to walk holding my phone and everything. And so I didn't take my phone, and I went for a walk with her. And at this clearing up ahead, we've been seeing a lot of these deer tracks. I saw a big old, and maybe it was a buck, but I think it was a big old doe, like abnormally large for a doe, standing in the middle of the field. And it didn't move. And I clapped my hands, and it didn't move for maybe 8 seconds. And I thought, this is a game warden's decoy deer to just be standing so still and not moving. They're waiting for somebody to, game warden's waiting for somebody to shoot it out of season or something. And then a baby deer, not a baby, but maybe a deer that's only a year old, or maybe 2 years old or something like that, run out of the woods and met up with it halfway in the field. And then when it's young and was with it, then they run off the other way. So basically, it heard me when I clapped, and it was scared, but it was going to stay still until its baby got to it. And then they run off together. They were right in the clearing over there. It's a good thing I scared it, though. Like, I thought it was a decoy, but it's a good thing. Because that deer doesn't need to feel safe standing in the middle of all of that open space. He's just asking to get shot. Come deer season, somebody be eating her. Which I'm not on either side. I kind of am. You know, like I'm on the side of the deer, but I eat them too. I shoot them and eat them too. But also, I want to give them a chance. They don't need to just be standing out in the open, just come eat me. I mean, I had to scare him off because it was scaring me. I was getting tempted to shoot him out of season and eat him. I hadn't had no deer stew in a while. And he just didn't need to be standing out there like that. But I ain't going to shoot him out of season. And I haven't ate all of the deer meat I got yet. Wade Purvis gave me some deer meat. And I started eating it and cooking it. But before I got it all ate, I forgot I had it. I saw it up there and noticed it again last night. Duke wanted to go for a walk. When I started to go for a walk, he ran so far ahead and was so happy. And then Mama pulled up with Brittany. So I went back to the house. And Duke didn't notice. And he was still going down the road. He got quite a while there before he realized and come back. Let's flip the camera around. Why not? We ain't gonna see no. When it gets dark like this, you can shine a flashlight and it'll shine in like a possum's eyes, raccoon's eyes. Like you'll see them eyes light up. I don't know what all animal. A lot of animals' eyes will light up. Not all of them, but a lot of them will. Some of them light up a lot brighter than others, like a cat's eye or. I'm not really going to go for that long of a walk. I'm hurting from work, not because work was so hard, but because I stayed up. You know, I live streamed and played that video game a little bit and stayed up real late. And Brittany's like, you going to be sleepy for work? Normally when Brittany's telling me something, she's right, but I ain't listening yet. Just stalling, like, I'll just stay up 30 more minutes. I knew it was going to make me tired at work and after work, but I just did it anyway. I have been being good and going to bed on my bedtime, but that day I just wasn't. I just want to stay up late. Every now and mostly on a full moon. If the moon's ever full, I just about can't fall asleep. It makes me want to go outside and build a fire and get some stuff done you can see. I don't remember Dolly walking, but there she is. There's Duke. There's Dolly. Oh, I ain't got a camera flipped around that way. Oh, the camera can't see it anyway. I'm going to turn around. I ain't going that way. The further I walk, the more they'll walk before they turn around. And there's them dogs in a fence up ahead, not too far. And I don't want to get them barking at each other or visiting so often they dig in the pen or who knows what. I remember that time Rand Paul was filibustering some kind of bill. And he had planned to do it the whole time, but he forgot he had to pee. See, there's some limitations, you know, like they can only push it so far. Eventually, they're going to have to use the bathroom. I remember when Ron Paul come out, everything he said was like, elect this man, you know. But they didn't really give him a fair shot. He wanted to audit the Federal Reserve. He wanted to cut basically everything people want now. Ron Paul was offering when he ran for president, but nobody wanted it then. And I remember I liked everything he said up until he said, cut foreign aid to Israel. And now I feel the opposite. Now I agree with him. But he was right ahead of time before I was, you know? I was just like, what? I was just like a NPC about that. I was just like, you got to support Israel no matter what. I guess I'm going to vote for Mike Huckabee and Chuck Norris. You know? It's so weird. It really is. When I look at my life, it's just kind of hard to believe the changes, you know? It's like I used to be a George Bush supporter. How? I supported the Iraqi invasion. Now I don't. I'm like, damn, we killed 20% of their people for no reason. They weren't even connected to 9/11. But I don't know. Like you tell a young kid that now, and they probably won't understand the atmosphere of the time. He had the most support of any president. At the time, he had like 98% approval ratings, highest approval ratings ever. Everybody was for the war until there's only a few people that wasn't, like the Dixie Chicks, and everybody hated them. And then later on, when people begin to realize, oh, we made a mistake, everybody pretended like they opposed it. And they pretended like they never liked Bush. But back in the day, people was singing Toby Keith now. People was like super patriotic. We had a common enemy to unite us. And it was an imagined enemy. It wasn't a real one, just like the Soviet Union. I mean, the Soviet Union was a real enemy, but it was imagined to be more of a threat than what it was. As soon as the American people do not have a common enemy, they start tearing each other apart like a wild beast. They just all start fighting each other. And they've been fighting since the beginning, and they always fighting, always at war somewhere. And if we're not at war with someone else, we're at war with each other. And it's not fair for the other nations. It's not fair that they get sacrificed. It's not fair that they get made into an enemy for no reason other than to unite us. But it's like, my friend Lee, he talks about it as like it's a necessary evil. We just have to have an enemy. And he's probably right, but I don't like the sound of it. There's got to be another way. There's got to be another way to be united besides united in the hatred of a third party. There's got to be like some love and unity and harmony, not just we're on the same team because we hate this guy. There's got to be something better than that. But I've studied a lot of human history, and I'm not very optimistic about us changing our ways. I think humans are going to keep on being humans, keep on not learning from their mistakes, keep on making overcorrections. And there's not a lot. It's just, you know, like let's say you have a family, right? There's no way you could love your family without hating the opposite. Like let's say somebody would come in and enslave and kill and abuse your family. You wouldn't like them. You wouldn't love them. You might, for the sake of your religion, claim to love them and be like, well, I hate their sin, but I love the person. But you don't really love the person that kills your daughter or puts a gun to your wife's head, you know? If you love something, you're going to hate its opposite. And that's why Americans and all people need the freedom to hate. This whole hate speech stuff is bullshit, because if they can tell you what you're not allowed to hate, then they can tell you what you can and can't love. Because one exists with the other together, you know? Like if you love good, you hate evil. You can't love good and love evil at the same time. See what I'm saying? And if you're going to have any kind of patriotism and any kind of in-group preference, there has to be an out-group that you don't like because it's not what you are. If you think that Chinese culture is the most awesome culture, you're not going to like cultures that are contrary to Chinese culture or American. It's the same rules for everyone. Everyone's kind of stuck in the same situation where as an individual, we can't even be sane. If we're by ourselves with no human contact in the hole, solitary confinement, we go insane. We're a social animal. We have to work in a group and cooperate in a group to be able to be successful. We have to be social animals. Well, to have a group, we have to have a group identity. To have a group identity, we have to define an in-group and an out-group. I mean, just defining the in-group makes an out-group. Anything that's not what that in-group is. And everybody can't use the same cultural story to unite their people. Everybody can't use the same religion. Every culture doesn't work for every place of geography. And we're kind of stuck in this situation where we're always going to be a bunch of nations fighting each other. We're always going to be nations absorbing other nations and building an empire. That's always going to create a counterbalance of another empire. Both of those two big empires are going to fight each other, break up in the process. It's going to go back to little state. Then those little states are going to start gobbling each other up and go back into big states. And the pattern just repeats over and over and over again. The only way for the cycle to be broken is when the two big empires arise to fight each other. Instead of one beating the other one, but weakening itself in the process, or them both defeating each other, one has to just totally, completely, utterly defeat the other one. Like so lopsided that they can then go on and conquer the whole world. But then that's not even beneficial, because wherever the capital is for that empire is not going to understand or be able to represent or rule good for the people on the opposite end of the world. And that's going to breed resentment. And eventually that monolithic society, it's going to fracture into a lot of little states, and it's going to start all over again. And I don't think it's good. It kind of gives us freedom that everybody's fighting for control, because then nobody gets complete control. But I do really wish we could just live like in peace and trade with each other in peace and cooperate and not waste so much energy and people's lives in war. I really wish we could just end war. But I don't think we can. I wish we could have peace, but I don't think we can. I think, hey, Wade Purvis, hey, God bless you. Thank you for the deer meat. I wish that I was rich and I could just give you the money to be the sheriff. I don't know, you probably don't want to be the sheriff no more, Wade Purvis, but I wish you were the sheriff. Or something. Or the governor. Something. I wish we had more constitutionalist, more libertarian, more just decent people, in the office. Well, I told Britt I was taking the dogs for a short walk. I'm about to go in there with Brittany. I haven't really, my videos have been all over the place. And I'm gonna try to make this the last one where I say anything about this, because I've said enough in the other ones, and I'm really not saying anything new. But all these people that are celebrating, like there was this teacher, she made her class, and they were young. I don't remember how old they were, but they were young. It was elementary school, I think. She made them watch over and over videos of Charlie Kirk's assassination and told them that he deserved it because he was a bigot. It's just sickening me, really, how people celebrate. Like even Donald Trump, when he heard about the Supreme Court, Ruth Ginsburg or whatever, I never liked her. She's a liberal judge, always voted for what was bad for America and destructive for America. And she was living forever, and she needed to be replaced. But when she died, conservatives didn't celebrate her death. Trump said something kind of nice or civil about it, saying like, but Charlie Kirk dies and people celebrate like some terrible person just got killed. And it bothers me. And it bothers me because it's like, it reminds me how evil a lot of these leftists are. And I already knew that because they're so pro-abortion, they're so anti-responsibility, they're so hedonistic. I should have expected them to act this way. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised at how much they rejoice over this innocent man being murdered. And it's like they don't really see it like he's dead. They see it like this man of their imagination. They imagined him to be some kind of Hitler. You know, he's not even as far to the right as Jared Taylor. He's not even David Duke. He's not anywhere close to that. He's just a regular conservative. Like half the country agrees with most all of his positions. If like they think that Charlie Kirk ought to die, they think about half the country ought to die. Like, what do they hate him for? Not, he wants a meritocracy instead of diversity hires. So does probably half the country. He doesn't want abortion. Well, that's about half the country. He believes in traditional marriage. It's about half the country. It's like, what do they hate him so much for? I can't understand it. But I'm going to go. I got to use the bathroom. I'm going to spend time with Brittany. I'm going to finish eating my sandwich. And the day's just kind of over. I just kind of got to cut this short. Y'all have a good day. God bless y'all. I want the best for all y'all. I hope y'all have a really good life. And I hope, let's see, Democrat strategy, accuse your opposition of being a Nazi while being a Nazi. Yeah, it is very fascist to shoot somebody that you can't win a debate against. That's exactly what the Nazis did. The Nazis had all these violent protests. They were a minority. They weren't like the country was kind of divided between communism and democratic republics. And his group was a minority that was against like basically everything. I do think they was woke about the Rothschilds and the Masons and the Jews, but they were totally wrong about a lot of issues. They were very leftist socially. They were against communism, but not really, because they were really kind of doing communism. They were just kind of giving people the illusion that they own things. It's like you own your business, but the government has the right to completely regulate and control it. It was a type of, I'm not going to get into all of it. There's a lot of reasons I disagree with the Nazis. A lot of the things they did was god-awful terrible. But one of the things they did is political violence. The people they couldn't win debates against, people that was just saying, they would go attack people. They would make people scared to oppose them. And that's exactly what Antifa does. George Soros, he funds Antifa and everything. And all these people they're saying someone's a bigot, but they're in favor of killing people that disagree with them. They are way more bigoted than anyone they call a bigot. They advocate for violence all the time. They advocate for political violence all the time on the news. Obama did. Nancy Pelosi did. Maxine Weather did. And then they pretend like they didn't. And you can go back and hear them say it. Like you can watch Obama say he wants to deport all the illegal immigrants. And then you could hear him calling the conservatives racist for doing the same thing. And the hypocrisy of the left astounds me. But I don't know why. I don't know why I'm ever surprised. Basically, they're the party of hedonism. They want pleasure without duty, without responsibility, without obligation, without social obligation. They want complete freedom to do evil. And they also want to push degeneracy. It's not enough where they're just like, you let me do my way and you do your way. You not accepting their perversions as normal causes them to be hostile towards you. They want to normalize everything that's not normal. Good night. Yeah, good night. I got to use the bathroom. I got to go. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all. Wish y'all the best.